Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another Historic Brawl gameplay video, and today we are playing one of the new commanders or new legendary creatures from Tarkir Alchemy, and that is Hamza, Might of the Yathin. Hamza is a 5 mana commander in Abzan, so it costs 2, then a white, black and green, and here's a 5/6, so pretty beefy body, especially for 5 mana. And it has whenever a creature you control is turned face up, it endures X, where X is that creature's toughness. And endure means you can either put X +1/+1 counters on that creature or create an XX white spirit creature token. And then it has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, seek a creature card and manifest it. Manifest means play it face down as a 2/2 creature. Then you can turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature card. And obviously it will be a creature card because it specifically seeks creature cards. And I find Hamza really interesting because it's from Tarkir, and actually its mechanics mostly reference the original Tarkir set, not necessarily the new one. The new one, the mechanics like mobilize and renew, and we do have endure in it, but endure is from the original Tarkir. Well, I think it was launched in the original Tarkir, but face down creatures is also from the original Tarkir because that had morph, whereas we've had face down synergies in Murs of Karlov Manor with Cloak and Disguise, and then in Duskmourn with Manifest Dread, which is very similar to Manifest. So a bit of a callback to original Tarkir. And Hamza is a very, very powerful commander because essentially it turns all your lands into creatures, and that is bonkers. So first up, we're not going to go for every card because we've seen most of them before. We do have ramp. We're in green, so why not? But also we do have a bit more land ramp than normal because obviously we want to get as many lands on the battlefield as possible. So things like Grazer and Kami, and Grazer is really good because if we hit Grazer with Hamza, then turn it face up, we can create a 3/3 spirit, and we do create the spirits most of the time. And things like Explore, so you can get us an extra land, rampant growth. White of the Reliquary, we can sack a creature and search library for a land card, put on the battlefield tapped. So we have a bit of an engine there. Vigorous Farming's an alchemy card from this year. Lands we control enter untapped, very, very powerful. At the beginning of an end step, the topmost land in the library perpetually gains whenever it's a land, it's tapped for mana, add an additional green, so that's ramp as well. Wayward Sawtooth is a great card because it lets us play additional lands, and it's a big body if we trigger Hamza, or if we hit it with Hamza. And then there is a kind of infinite combo, infinite-ish. Threats around every corner is from Duskmourn, 4 mana enchantment. When it enters, Manifest Dread, which means you look at the top 2 of your library, but one face down as a 2/2 creature, and the other into graveyard. Then we can turn it face up for its mana cost if it's a creature card. It says whenever a face down permanent you control enters, search the library for a basic land card, put it into battlefield tap, then shuffle. So threats around the corner by itself. Manifest Dread, which means a face down permanent enters, so we get a basic land, put on the battlefield tapped. And that's great. 4 mana, get a land's not great, but we get a creature as well. If we have Hamza down when we do it, or we have them both down and we play a land, because we play a land, we seek a creature card, play it face down, which triggers threats, which means we get another land, which triggers Hamza, which means we're going to get another land. So essentially, we just get every basic land in our deck and go very, very wide. Unfortunately, in these cards, I don't think there's any way to give creatures mass haste apart from a Chroma's Memorial, which we do have. But otherwise, you're set for lands, and you can start turning creatures face up. And if we do have, say, Vigorous Farming down as well, and our lands enter untapped, which are absolutely bonkers. Another really good card, obviously, is Primeval Titan, Prime Time. Just search for 2 library for 2 lands, put them in the battlefield tap when it enters or attacked. Is double ways to trigger Hamza. So that's basically the engine. Ramp, get creatures down, and then flip them. Next up, we have Interaction, Mana Tithe, so a counter spell. Patriarch's Humiliation is just great in Commander or Brawl. Swords, Plowshares, Fatal Push, Bit of Triumph, Go for the Throat, Vanish and Burst, and Into the Trenches is a buff to our board, but also we can pay 6x, so I'll target non-land permanent we don't control. Next up, we have some actual turn face-up synergies. So these are cards we probably haven't seen on my channel before. In fact, I don't think we have at all. Sleuth Instructors, really good, is an alchemy card as well. We can disguise it for 3, then turn it face up for 2. When this creature or another permanent we control is turned face up, we seek a non-elephant creature card with mana value 3 or less and cloak it. This ability triggers only once. And Cloak is the same as Manifest, apart from the creature has Wall 2, so pretty powerful. And we only have two elephants in our deck, but one of those is our commander, so he's not going to be in our deck. Unyielding Gatekeeper, when we turn it face up, exile target non-land permanent. If we control it, it comes back to the battlefield. Otherwise, the controller creates a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. So be able to exile any non-land permanent, and yeah, they get a 2/2. We don't really care about that. Trail of Mystery, when a face-down creature we control enters, we search library for basic land, we put it into our hand, not a battlefield, and whenever permanent we control is turn face up. If it's a creature, it gets +2/+2 at the end of turn, so it buffs the creature when we turn it face up. Smiler Sentry, when a face-down permanent we control is turned up, we put a +1/+1 counter on that creature and a +1/+1 counter on the Sentry. It itself does not have Cloak or Disguise or Manifest itself. Crowd Control Warden is kind of similar, but when it enters or turn face up, we put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of other creatures you control. And it's basically Disguise cost is the same as its mana value. So if we hit it with Hamza, we don't get a cheap creature. And similar with Hooded Hydra, it's 2 and X for a 0/0, but it enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. And when it dies, we create basically X 1/1 green snake creature tokens, where X is the number of counters on it. But then we can turn it face up for 5 in total, and it enters with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. And obviously, turn up as a 5/5, we can then create a 5/5 with Hamza by enduring. And next up, we basically have every other creature. We have Guided Souls. Esper Sentinel is one of the few cards we actually, when we turn face up, we probably put the counters on it because it does increase the mana that opponent has to pay to stop us drawing a card. Same with Ocelot Pride. A 2/2 first strike lifelink is better than a 1/1 first strike lifelink. Bloodghast is a recursive creature. We have a lot of lands enter the battlefield, so we can keep on getting it back. And if we can sack it, something like White of the Reliquary, very, very powerful. Enduring Innocence, obviously all the creatures, face-down creatures, are 2/2s, so we will draw a card from the Innocence. And what's really good is if we play a fetch land, draw a card of the Innocence, then crack it on the next turn, then draw a card with Innocence again. Chatterfang's really, really powerful because every time we create a token, which obviously the spirits from Endure we create a squirrel as well, and then we can pay black and sack X squirrels, and target creature gets +X, -X at end of turn. Scoot Swarm is just great with obviously landfall. Hauntswood Shrieker is a way to turn creatures face up for just 2, 1 and a green. So if we do hit something like Elish Norn or Ancient Green Warden or Hooded Hydra and Crowd Control Warden, which are not that cheap to turn face up, and have a Hauntswood Shrieker, we can do that as well. And there's no limit to how many times we can do it, apart from our mana. Speaking of Elish Norn, doubles the ETB triggers, so it'll double all the land triggers. Same with Ancient Green Warden, and Green Warden lets us play lands from our graveyard, so it lets us get those fetch lands back. And next up, just kind of everything else, which is nice. Dory the Consoles just helps us gain life and stay in the game a bit, and also can work with Ocelot Pride. Black Market Connections to draw, create a treasure, and create some creatures. Tribute to the World Tree, because turning face up doesn't like exile the creature and lets you play it on the other side, or that if a creature comes into play face down, it will get those 2 +1/+1 counters on it because it doesn't have power 3 or greater, unless we've got Mirai's Wakeout, which we'll get to in a bit. Then when we turn it face up, you'll still have those counters. Parallel Lives is to double up some tokens. We don't have. I originally tried Anointed Possession and Doubling Season, and the other one, Primal. I don't say Primal Bounty, but that's another card. But there's one which is symmetrical as well. But I ended up taking those out just because I needed to cut some cards out of the deck. And often we don't create a huge amount of tokens just because our opponent scoops before we get there. Elspeth does double up the tokens though, and is a very, very powerful card. Mirai's Wake, my favourite card of all time, just buffs our board and buffs our mana. Chrome's Memorial just gives our board all those keywords: Flying, First Strike, Vision, Tremble, Haste, and Pro, Black and Red, and then Great Henge. We don't have many absolutely huge creatures, so we're probably not casting this for 2 green, most likely 2 and 2 green, but still a very powerful card as well. And obviously it does trigger from non-token creatures, so it won't trigger from the spirits, but the face-down creatures we get from Hamza and various other things are non-token, so they will get a counter and let us draw a card. Mana base, we're in Abzan, so as you would expect, us all the various colours. We do have 41 lands because we want to hit lands with Hamza, and because lands equals creatures, it's very hard to flood out because we want lands, basically. But nothing particularly special, although I do like the new Verdant Catacombs art, which I got in a Tarkir Alchemy pack earlier today. So Really, really good. Oh, we're also playing another new alchemy land, Desert Cenote. Part of me thinks it should have a thing over there. It should be Cenote, but I probably could be wrong. If we were starting playing, it enters tapped, and as it enters, we choose up to 2 colours from among cards in our hand. We can tap it for colours or add 1 mana of a chosen colour. We're in 3 colours, so chances are we're going to have more than 1 colour in our hand. And this is it's a great dual land basically, but half the time enters tapped. So that's a deck. I really, really like this deck. It's really, really powerful. It is a creature deck, which can struggle against board wipes, obviously, but chances are we've managed to get a decent amount of mana, and we can just replay Hamza and get another board going of all the face down creatures and get value and return them face up and just go wide again. As I said earlier, it's a shame that I don't think there's a way to give mass haste apart from, say, a Chroma's Memorial to the board. Maybe we should play Crashing Drawbridge, which I only just thought of, even though we did play it recently as well. But yeah, maybe we should play Crashing Drawbridge to give our board haste, but it doesn't really need it. This is one of those weird decks where you don't often win by killing your opponent. You win by going massively wide in your opponent's grouping, which is quite fun to see as well. So really, really enjoy this one. And a very, very powerful alchemy card. I think everyone's thinking Lamb's really, really powerful card from alchemy, and it is, and we'll be playing him soon, so watch out for that one. But Hamza as well is very, very powerful, and only 3 legendary creatures from Tarkir Alchemy as well, so not much choice. So hope you all enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my gameplay. We go first with Delighted Halfling up against one of the many powerful Narsets. So you need more land, but turn 1 Delighted Halfling is always pretty good. And we do have 39 more lands in the deck, so chances of hitting one's pretty good. Well, I think we disguise it. And I would like that land. There is a land. And we can get a... Does it really matter? Let's get a plains. I doubt they want to block. Who the hell? They love their double strike. And this is where we just get down every basic land in our deck. Fortunately, they do enter tapped. But it also means we'll be pretty good at recasting our commander. We do miss out on the land from Overlord. There we are. Every basic land in our deck gone. And we can flip up Esper Sentinel if we need to. Which we will at the end of their turn, but maybe they... Well, actually, I don't think if we turn it up in response, because it would have already cast it. Our opponent seems slightly overwhelmed. Yeah. We go first with no ramp at all, unfortunately. So So this is a mulligan. Not having a Forest Utopia Sprawl is always pretty painful. We're up against dragons. Well, let's put this on white. And then next turn we can play this Synote, which will be tapped, unfortunately, but we can name black and green. Which is what we will do, and then do nothing. We can Cavern of Souls on Warrior. So we do have more warriors than elephants. That gives all their dragons hexproof, so I think we need to take it out. And they whiffed. Well, alright, let's put this on Warrior then. I'm going to play out Parallel Lives. And then, assuming our Druid survives, we can play Hamza, then get Command Tower down. Or hopefully another land. I would like a natural forest so we can Utopia Sprawl. Pretty powerful, being able to give some of their dragons, well, creatures, double strike. But let's just then play Hamza. Uncounterable Hamza. But I do need more lands. Next turn we can prime time, which obviously will massively help. Ooh. I do want to play with this in Brawl. It doesn't really work. Well, it could work in Standard, but I think it's far too slow, obviously. Prime time it is. I won't get Boseiju because we might hopefully draw it and destroy their enchantment. Let's get a couple of Serval lands. Lush Portico and Shadowy Backstreet. No thank you. And no thank you. There is no point attacking with Hamza because he doesn't have trample. We can turn up the... Actually, we know we don't have any fetch lands in our graveyard, so we can turn it up, but it'd be a bit pointless. Right. If we vigorous farming and tribute. Let's get Triome. And a thicket. And oh yeah. They can kill it, but then we kill their Golos. I think we turn over a couple of things. Well, I say a couple of things. Our Elvish Mystic. Yeah, they spin it to win it. That is fine. With Tribute and Enduring Innocence is a bit of a nombo. Right, let's turn up a Mystic. And let's turn up a Enduring Innocence. We should have done it the other way around, shouldn't I? This can get us a land for Trail of Mystery. And we draw. Yeah, let's adapt. Let's put it on black. And then let us black market connections. Let us get Underground Mortuary, because it taps for extra mana. And our opponent's scoops, we were taking a bit long. But yeah, unless they had a sweeper, which they could find with Golos, we were about to smash in. And they could double block a couple of things, but we had so much mana and so many creatures, I wasn't particularly fussed by it. Oh, against Taser, so a Deft trigger deck. Well, we do have removal. And a bit of ramp. Can even disguise, morph, sorry, the Hooded Hydra. If our opponent decides whether they want to go first or not. What does that symbol mean? So top symbol's commander, middle symbol I assume is landfall. Is the bottom one then endures? But the creature itself doesn't endure. Weird, I don't know. Obviously we'd like our elves to survive, but I guess a white-black deck. Would not be surprised if it doesn't. Oh, in this case, I think we do this, and we can hold up removal if we need to. Just a file of Galadriel for our opponent. We can play Hamza next turn. Obviously, would love to draw a land to go with him. It's interesting art for a face down card. There is Sodom, so they are ramping as well. Obviously, when it dies, I get to draw 2 cards with Taste on the battlefield. Well, let's scry. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, we'll just hold back. Marionette Apprentice for our opponent. So what we're going to do, we'll crack our Delta. For a Godless Shrine. And we'll turn and we're going to put a counter on it, just because obviously it does increase the X you have to pay. And we can turn the Hydra face up as well next turn. Which I think is what we do. Let's create a 5/5. Now let's see how they block, if they do block. We'll take out Taser so we only draw 1 and we don't die a huge amount. So we would love more lands. Oh, what do they search for? Also, we don't have to reveal it. And they have 3 mana. Rosh Rider's pretty powerful. Well, let's get down the Enduring Innocence. And I very much like this art. Got it in Tarkir Alchemy. And we do get to draw. Well, let us exile that Woe Strider. And we'll swing in with our big boys. And we can hold up Bill of Triumph. And crack out Verdant Catacombs on their turn. Wow. Nuts. We do obviously still get to draw a decent amount. The reason I did that is because I want to keep the fetch land for Hamza. Yeah, we'll keep that. Although I might need to crack it for Hamza. Yeah, I think we will crack it. We can draw with by attacking with the Shrieker. You have 1 card left. They can play Taser. But they decide they don't want to by the looks of it. There we go. And yeah, our opponent scoops. We do have a pretty sizable board. And then, yeah, we get some outland. And try and get another land so that we can trigger Hamza straight away. Our opponent goes first. Well, threats around every corner and Hamza is just busted basically. And we've got to get a green source. Yeah, let's still get a green source with our marsh flats. Get a lush portico. I'll keep Bloodgrass for now. And I will just get a rampant growth. And we'll get another swamp for our Bloodghast. Well, I know they're going to draw from it, but I should have humiliationed Rocco first. The Bloom King wouldn't be very big at the moment. But they have a lot of mana with... they kill their own Rocco. They're going off a bit. Well, let's get down Hamza. And let's get down... We do have double black for Bloodghast, so let's just get down, put it on a green. And next turn, Mirari's Wake. There is Rocco again. Let's play down, get down the Wake. And we'll put this on Warrior. Oh, Chatterfang is a warrior. I don't think we can attack in yet. They have a lot of food. I'd rather they take out the Lotus Cobra. And our opponent scoops because we have hundreds of mana. We don't have no lands though, which is... How much do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Yeah, so we could... So we need 2, 7... Yeah, so we could threats around every corner, disguise a Bloomkin, turn up the Bloomkin, get 2 forests, one, well, we not paired land, so then basically just get every single basic land out of our deck and a huge amount of creatures. Now, we know how powerful Kotis can be. We have some ramp, and Flash and Bloomkin is also potentially ramp. Yeah, but Cotis is a tough matchup. It is a very, very powerful card. Well, let's shock in the Overgrown Tomb, and we'll just put the planes onto the battlefield tapped. I think we probably do disguise the Bloomkin. Fetch a forest. They ain't taking this trade. But they can get Cotis down next turn. This turn, assuming they have a land. An untapped land. There it is. And there's Cotis. There is not Cotis. Your Paradise Druid already has Hexproof. Well, let's play out Vigorous Farming then. And we can fetch any land we want because it enters untapped. Now, do you play out Cotis? Because you can immediately give it haste. Yeah. Let us surveil. We will block with the Bloomkin. Let's play out Hamza. We'll hold back. But the hope they don't have a way to give Cotis evasion. Oh, Urborg. That's handy. Let's play out Samara. I will crack it, obviously, just so we get another trigger. And I will turn this face up now. Do I Yeah, to be fair, we can't Vanish Inverse Cotis. So we'll just hold back for now. And obviously they had protection from the One Ring, so... Next turn we can create a pretty beefy Crowd Control Warden. I would quite like Elish Norn. Although I don't think we can cast it yet. They have something. They definitely have something. So the good thing about Cotis is you don't necessarily build your deck to, you know, get out big things from your deck. The idea is to buff Cotis and get out big things in your opponent's deck. Well, let's turn this face up because we will get the draw. And we can attack in with Hamza. Because we can... The mouse is being weird. Put him into the air with Guide of Souls. Now you use your removal. I can't turn up. Crowd Control Warden. Our opponent's thinking about a lot. There we go. I don't want to Scoot Swarm yet. I'd rather hold up Vanish Inverse for something. Like if they put an aura on Cotis that gives it flying. They're playing Cotis very weirdly. Like, apart from Lava Spur Boots, they've not played anything that buffs Cotis, gives it evasion. Like, I don't know why you play Tenacious Pup. Well, I suppose to give Cotis Trample if you need to. Yeah. We can get in for 7 with Hamza. they lose 3. So they're down to 1, even if we don't do anything else. But we probably can, we Scoot Swarm, hope, we draw from Enduring Innocence. Hopefully we hit a land or we draw a land, and that way we probably get up to 4 energy for Guide of Souls, or we turn over the Crowd Control Warden for a very, very big body, and that will obviously trigger Guide of Souls again, and then we can put the Crowd Control Warden into the air, or maybe a Samala Sentry, and we're definitely in for lethal.